Good evening and welcome to another episode of The Coach's Box. Ray Halbrook along with all of my friends here from Livestream STL and The Coach's Box. Hope you're all having a wonderful evening. Let me go to the right camera here. Here we go, right here. This one looks a lot better. So hope everybody's having a great evening. We have a special guest tonight here, Jim Powers, and all of the crazy friends that we have here. And we'll jump right straight in here. And we're all sitting in a different spot tonight. So that's... you're totally throwing me. I've got to completely do the redo the graphics here. So, I do blame Jason Jarvis for this. No, I'm just kidding. No. So, Chris Miller, you usually set us off. How's it going, Chris?
It's great.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Is that mic on?
The mics are on.
Normally that mic, the person that sits there's mic.
Yeah, we usually keep this one muted. You changed up a little bit here.
I don't know. I'm not in the mood today.
Uh-oh.
Wait, which arm is the one that's all messed up still? That one? Well, you can still hit me with the right jab. Face.
This is my jab. This is my hooks.
Do you name your fist too?
No, I mean, you jab
do
with
with
your
my
left.
That's right. Hook. My bad. Look, didn't preface this. I'm probably really exhausted, so I had to give a big presentation today. Because we're going back to work because we care about our education. And anyway, I had to give a 2-hour presentation. It was great.
2 hours?
Yeah, I was up to like 3 a.m. doing a PowerPoint.
No, you didn't procrastinate or nothing.
No, I mean, listen, when you're waiting on information to get to you, it makes it a little tough. But I digress. It's fine. It was good. Nobody booed.
That's a good thing.
One of the coaches had their phone go off. I won't say any names. Dan Oliver. He don't watch the show, so I can throw him under the bus. Anyway, other than that, everything's good. Nobody cares. So moving on. We got a few things to talk about. Special guest here, Jim Powers, and you do a lot of stuff, Jim. I mean, really.
Sometimes I do too much.
Yeah. I mean, that's just one of those things. Like once somebody knows that you'll do some things, they try to get you to do a lot of stuff. Oh, yes. And I know right now you. For one thing, you referee because we just got to hear a really fun story from your time having to referee Coach Blair's games.
That's
which,
right.
By the way, from all of us here in Jefferson, we're sorry. Okay. that you had
apologize.
Dear Lord, I apologize.
But did he tee you up? That's the question.
No,
Wow,
not at all.
Okay.
No, he's got a.
He tuned you out, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
I mean,
No. We had a few good conversations.
We did.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is that? The pose?
Yeah.
More to come on that later in the show.
Later.
More to come on that.
A little
later in the
foreshadowing,
show.
but you're a former basketball and football coach,
Yeah.
right? And now you're the coordinator of the athletic communications at Maryville.
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Maryville University. So there's a lot of stuff that obviously college is dealing with today that. It's some big news that's come down. We'll hit on that here in a second. You also, obviously, you officiate and you do the high school sports analyst for Fox 2.
Yes, sir.
Did I make sure I got all that?
Yeah, we got it all.
So it took a little bit of time. I got through it. I didn't butcher it. But you do a lot of stuff, and that's awesome because, I mean, anytime that you have that opportunity to reach out, I mean, that's awesome. And you're a big fan of our show.
Absolutely.
And your wife hates the fact that you watch our show and does something else.
She goes, hides in the bedroom, puts the TV on in there, and watches TV for the rest of the night. So
I mean, that's what most.
I have that effect on women.
Wait, not when it's tickets to the gun show. I've already been down that.
Oh, no, hey, you notice I sleeved him up this week.
Yeah, our viewership will officially be lower at this point. But we'll jump right into it with our national headlines. Obviously, our St. Louis Cardinals, I like to call them the COVID Cardinals. Mm-hmm. I mean, are they going to play any, or are we going to see them? Are they going to ruin baseball? Because, in my opinion, everybody should hate the Astros right now. Instead, I feel like there's a chance people could hate the Cardinals.
I
well,
agree.
we kind of saw the hatred towards the Astros this weekend when baseball kind of broke out.
No kidding.
But It's a circus. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's just not following through with what you're supposed to do and the protocols and everything. And to be honest, in my thinking, the leagues that have been successful have been in the bubble. The NHL, no positive tests in over 3,000 tests, if I'm not mistaken. Major League Soccer, they're having their championship tonight. No positive tests since they went into the bubble. The NBA, no positive tests.
Even with somebody going out and getting good wings,
yeah.
Right?
from a gentleman's establishment.
They're the best wings
The
around.
best wings. And Johnny Manziel has put a stamp
Put a stamp on it.
Yeah, he knows.
But, I mean, it's really just – I think this weekend is going to be a very telling weekend for the Cardinals. If they don't play this weekend, I think there's got to be some big decisions made by Major League Baseball and by the Cardinals. If you lose 3 more games, now you're talking you haven't touched a baseball in nearly 2.5 weeks. And anybody that knows baseball knows that's way too long. You almost got to go back into a spring training mode. And so I think some big decisions are going to be made. And honestly, it's not going to surprise me if some of those veteran players opt out and say, you know what, we got nothing to play for. I'm just going to save myself and get ready for next year.
What do you think that does for their contract? Because they've started. Any idea? I mean, are they going to get their service time, or are they going to get? Is their salary going to be prorated?
Well, they're supposed to get their service time.
Yeah, they'll get their service time. So, I mean, the season started, so my guess is, they'll get their service time and they'll get, whatever the prorated contract is. But, it's a tough situation. It's a very tough scenario. And, when you're not doing the things that you need to do to take care of your business, that makes it very difficult. And I think the precursor is now, okay, Major League Baseball is having an issue without being in a bubble. What's the NFL going to do when they start? And they start traveling and doing different things along those lines. So I think you're looking at some very interesting times over the next 4 to 5 weeks with Major League Baseball and with the National Football League.
Well, and the NBA and the NHL, they don't have as many people to navigate like baseball and football do. So I'm real interested to see what the NFL does because they're not going to pass up that money. They're going to try to have an NFL season.
Well, they don't have guaranteed contracts either.
Right.
That's the difference between
the
Major League Baseball
Right.
and the NBA. They have guaranteed contracts. NFL players do not have. I mean, you can sign the biggest quarterback deal of all time, and in 2 years you're cut.
Right.
I mean, and you just the team takes the salary cap hit, and you just go on with your business. It's that guaranteed money up front that means anything at this point. Correct. So,
well, and I think, the other breaking news, you had Cleveland's pitcher went outside, broke protocols, and is not going tonight. He had his apology to his team, to the fans and all of that. How hard is it? It's 2 months, right? That's all the Major League Baseball schedule is. How hard is it to just stay home?
I mean,
stay
I
in a
guess
hotel
you're a
room?
single
It's 2
guy,
months.
and you just got some
It's
time.
2 months. It's 2 months of your life. It's not that difficult.
You're getting paid to play this game. I mean, it's pretty tough. It's a tough life to live when you're getting paid to play a kid's game.
Right.
And you just have to give up 2 months of your time.
That's
you
it.
make thousands of dollars, millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
And,
That's it.
you got to give up that lifestyle.
Yeah. That's the problem, though. With,
Notice
with
I'm being
everything.
extremely sarcastic.
Yeah. But
Okay.
that's the issue, is that you just do what you're told. It's not that difficult. It's like Jim
would
Carrey
think.
and Liar Liar.
Well, here's
Right?
the other thing that I talk
Stop breaking the law. I mean, that's what it, right? That's what it is, right? I mean, it's
Then
not complicated.
Then the Cardinals organization sends the guys that have been tested positive home to their house. So, at my point, I would think that you would want to send them, where you can keep an eye on them and, monitor them and have. So now they're going to go out. What's to say that they don't go to the grocery store or, maybe their significant other or whatever went to the grocery store
Casinos.
today. Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Oh, sorry.
But
That was all
Itch.
rumor.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Well,
18, 19.
the
rumors
one thing
now, yeah.
too with the NFL is you still have a bunch of states that are not allowing fans. Like the state of Ohio, their governor has come flat out and said, "Sorry, we don't care. You're not allowing fans in Cleveland Stadium or down in Cincinnati."
Correct.
There's some other states that are doing. California's doing the same thing. That's money that the NFL is going to lose, and that just compounds the issue exponentially.
Correct.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about money.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not for the love of the game.
No.
That was a good movie.
What?
Is
that on the foreshadowing? Top five?
Maybe
I don't
for
know.
one of you guys.
I don't know. What are you trying to say?
I don't know. I was just saying, it might be for one of you guys.
Not for me.
Oh, well.
No.
Just you're not a baseball guy, I guess.
Kevin Costner?
No, I got some baseballs.
Oh,
on
do you?
some baseballs.
Whoa. Gotta watch it. Ray's gonna be like,
And
now
commercial.
guys,
It's a
start the
family-
music.
Family-friendly show.
There he goes.
Hey, Blair started talking.
I know, right?
Music came on.
So, I mean, we did mention it too that when all this started, what the leagues are going to be and how different it's going to be, and we said it just seems like this is the NBA and the NHL have a much better model than baseball because they are trying to keep their players in the bubble per se.
Could you do that in the NFL? Could you have some type of scenario
I don't
where
know.
you're in a somewhat
How
centralized
do you
location?
break up? How do you
play
break?
that many games?
Yeah.
and,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
the issue right there.
And here's something I didn't know.
Well, can you go Friday, Saturday, Sunday
You
now?
can't play on Saturdays if they have college football.
And that,
Yeah.
That is a
could
law.
That could be changing.
That's a law.
It's a law that they put in place. I heard it the other. I think it was on the Fast Lane. We can't advertise those shows here, but yeah. So there's an antitrust law that prevents the NFL and college football from playing on Saturday
That's why
Now
they
the-
don't play those Saturday games until
until
later in
Right.
the season.
until late in December.
I'm telling you right now, Roger Goodell and his staff in New York are praying that the SEC and the ACC and the Big 12 pull the plug on the season because that now just opened the gates wide open for the NFL to play on Friday and Saturdays.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, people don't think about that, but that's a golden opportunity for the NFL to move games into Saturday
yeah.
for viewership, and especially if you're not allowed to have fans.
Well, heck,
that's going to blow the ratings right out of the
well,
water.
heck, if it's the only thing in town, the only thing to see. I mean, heck, I've found myself watching some NBA games that I normally wouldn't have watched, but right now that's
There's
what's
nothing else
on.
to watch.
I love it.
Well, I tell you what, though, and I think the NHL is doing it the best out of everybody. And the way that they're having it's a horrible situation, but they're having a blast with it. I was watching the Blues last week, and in the middle of the third period, I know we're going to get to that in a minute, but, I was watching the Blues game, and they broke to the Jumbotron. It said, tonight's attendance, 0. Priceless. And then I was watching another game, and you know how they'll normally say, thank you for attending, please drive home safely. Thank you for attending, please get off your couch safely. And they had a picture of a couch. I mean, they have embraced it.
Wasn't there one of them that said the wave will not be tolerated?
Yes, and there was another one. I mean, but it's priceless how they're taking advantage of it, and they're making it fun. And I think the NHL has really done a terrific job with that because they understand there's no fans. People are watching and tuning in. And you just doing little silly things like that you never would do if you had 20,000 people in Scott Trade Center and things like that. You can't get away with that. Now you got the perfect opportunity to show that, you do kind of have a sense of humor and you're dealing with this in the best way you can.
I mean, you really can't. I mean, that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
is to do that. So we'll go ahead and get away from the Cardinals because that's just depressing.
Yeah, agreed.
And let's move on to something even more depressing. Gosh, St. Louis sports right now. The Rams. Oh yeah,
Battlehawks too, right?
No. Hey, listen, there's still a little hope. We got the Rock.
The Rock, baby.
The Rock. So anybody who's out there who wants the Battlehawks to come back, you need to find the Rock on Twitter or whatever and blow it up. We need the Battlehawks. Tell them to call and let's make it happen. Anyway, so the Blues, since we're talking about hockey, we got the Blues. They just finished up the round robin. So now since didn't win a single one. 0 for 3.
Was that a setup?
Oh, maybe. Same way that the Rangers got the number 1 pick.
We'll see.
So
Yeah, I saw that. And then,
Boston?
but Berube said, these games just really didn't mean a whole lot. So, we should be fine. They're going to turn that switch on, and the Blues are going to rock and roll.
I hope.
I think
It's a
that-
tough series, though.
Jarvis,
I hate to
Jarvis
say
being
it.
positive here, man.
No, I'm kind of wondering, like, are you okay?
What meds
Take
is he
anything
on?
for that
What meds
shoulder?
is he on? That's what,
Who are you, or where's Jason Jarvis at all of a sudden? Wow.
Telling you,
wonder,
I'm positive.
For the COVID?
Positive Polly. No, I'm not positive.
That's good. Anyway, so the Blues went 0-3, and it gave them the 4 seed, and they're going to play Vancouver.
Yeah.
And, we're all essence of positivity over here. Jason.
Except for Jason.
It's the only one that's like, well, the Blues, yeah, they got a chance.
They're repeating, baby. I
Yeah.
got faith.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was the same guy who, for as old as I am, went to Blues games, loved the Blues, and my dad's like, yeah, they're the Cubs of hockey, they're never going to win it. And then the Cubs win, I'm like, well, hey, so you're saying there's a chance, right? So, yeah, there's a chance. I mean, they're in it. That's the good news. They're in the field. There's been some good teams been knocked off. Mm-hmm. And it could be just real interesting. It's just whoever gets high. If you get the hot goaltender.
Yeah, whoever's goaltender gets hot is, and Bennington.
I would, somebody from the media, Jim, maybe you can pull some strings. Just go and ask him some really dumb questions and just get him all fired up and pissed
Oh,
off.
I think he already is, because you give up a goal with 1/10 of a second left off of a rebound,
right?
And then you give up another goal with 30 seconds left. I mean, that could have easily been, possibly 2-0-1 or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I think the biggest thing I think for the Blues right now is that the penalties that they committed were just absolutely stupid. There were just some silly penalties, and they got behind the 8 ball. The penalty kill wasn't that good. But once again, you didn't play hockey for 4 months. It's tough to get that penalty kill back to where it was before all this stuff broke out.
And their style relies on them to be physical, to have that fight, and you can't have silly penalties. And from what I know, which is very little about hockey, when you're tired, you make mistakes the same way you would in any other sport. Where you get silly penalties.
Evidently, you know a lot because you keep winning this stupid thing.
Hey, listen. Your daughter's the only Jarvis that gets to hold this. So,
Sorry, me or McVeigh are bringing you down.
what, you guys gonna punch me or something?
But I should have beat you the first round.
You
and
should-
then
the first
you-
time,
I
I
think
know.
it's rigged. I almost did a commercial about how this crap is rigged.
So we were in the middle of having a conversation about Blues hockey, and it went right to it. Gee
Mr.
whiz.
Positivity
What?
went
It's a
away.
cup. We're talking about the Blues Cup. I mean,
What happened? What happened to that positivity he did?
When he said with a real
He's
face of
positive
Jarvis,
it's
stand
rigged.
up.
I've been sitting here looking at that SPX on his freaking shirt for so long.
Oh, you know what? I really appreciate you pointing
Yeah.
this out. That I'm sporting my St. Pius Lancers.
The 10th.
I mean, I just
10th,
came
St.
straight
Pius
from
and
football practice over here. We had Channel 2
Oh
over
yeah,
there.
I saw
Yeah,
that.
that's interesting.
Yeah, you weren't the only school though that had
Yeah.
some
That's
media
what I
show up.
heard. That's what I hear.
Yeah, the school we will not name.
Your favorite school, the one that
What? South Iron?
no.
Oh.
South Iron?
No.
That's right.
Yeah, they don't have football down there, bud. We played Madden. So, anyway, let's go back.
I didn't know they had internet down there, but hey, whatever.
You don't have to have internet to play Madden. You just had to have a.
they got electricity down there.
Yeah,
You just had a little hamster spin until he dies. Somebody selling the exercise bike.
wow. Sorry, I got that off
It's
the
all your
rails.
fault.
Yep.
Off the rails.
Rails. There it is, Ray. There it is.
We are off the rails.
I think it's the first time I've ever used it. But
Yeah, for anyone who's just now watching our show, Off the Rails is said a couple times by me. I heard it's a drinking game. So if you want to-
I wasn't going to go there, but I thought, man, that would be a great.
Is it a Mountain Dew Pepsi
Game.
Coke drinking game? Or
I
what?
mean, yeah,
Sweet nectar of the
just
gods,
sweet
right?
nectar of the gods.
water.
Yeah, look at you being all healthy and stuff.
You know that Mountain Dew is in the Bible, right?
It is.
It is. And it says this. It says, I shall go to the dew of the mountain. And that counts.
Oh. Is that
And
where
I'm
they
gonna
got
have
it?
some right here.
Interesting.
So there you go.
I like
That's
it,
a good
Ray.
plug. How much should Pepsi drop for that?
Wow, we just had a Bible.
Can't
I
tell
mean,
you.
I'm
know.
surprised.
I can't-
The first
Right.
Bible
I
reference.
can't reveal those information.
Oh, yeah.
you go.
Can't
Well,
confirm
Well, you
it or
could
not.
catch him on the refuge. I've seen.
Yeah,
I've
that's
watched
true.
Ray. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the way, Jim, this is how you've seen the show.
Oh, I've watched the show. I knew exactly what I was walking into tonight. That's why I just said I'm just going to show up and photobomb this whole thing because I wanted to be a part of this circus.
I mean, Jeff Whitener said by your presence, the IQ of the show went up 20 points.
That's true.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Maybe 1 or 2 points. Remember, I am a former coach and I am an official. The IQ doesn't turn the dial that much.
I've always said, I mean, because somebody asked me, he's like, do you even like officials? I said, no, they're great people. You guys, I give them a lot of props because it's a tough job to do.
It's tough.
But as soon as they put that shirt on, they suck. I mean, they just suck. They're going to miss everything all the time.
Hey, all officials out there that when St. Pius plays Herculaneum, I love all officials,
Jefferson,
no matter what you have on. Stripes, no stripes, I don't care.
Right.
Hold on,
This guy
hold on,
hates you.
Hold on.
Hates you.
Note to Pat Burns if you're listening. I want to do a Pius game this year.
Pat was watching her, I think, earlier.
No, he was because I was talking to him as I was pulling in, telling him I was coming down to hang out with you guys tonight.
So I've there's a Whitener's thing. So I've actually had this conversation after a very poorly officiated game. We were in the fourth quarter. We're getting drummed. I was at Ellington. We're playing Eminence on their homecoming. I've got my, I don't know how, whatever kid on the end of the bench is in. We had a pitch ahead. Kid goes up for a layup. They call a walk. And I call a timeout. I just looked at my assistant coach and I said, "You got this." He goes, "What are you going to do?" Now, this is when I'm a lot younger and had really, full of it. And
That's changed a lot.
I said, "Yeah."
I was going to say.
So I walked up to after they reported in. I said, "Hey guys, come here a second." And 2 guys, and I said, "Listen, you guys have done a fantastic job. You guys are like tied for the second best." I said, "You guys are the second best group of officials we've had all year." Really? I said, "Yeah, everybody else is tied for first. You guys suck." And so I got teed up and I had to sit down for a while.
Shocking.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one.
No petroleum jelly. I mean,
Oh.
Now, listen, that wasn't the only thing I said after that, but this is a family show.
Oh, my.
So, anyway.
On to the next one. Let's talk a little bit about the impact of the Big Ten and Pac-12.
Dude, did you see how he just took that over?
I know.
Hold on, we got to move the laptop here. Give it to Blair.
Worried about things
Well,
here.
wait a second. Isn't that why Riley wanted to sit over there earlier?
guess.
So he
I don't
could have
know.
Hey,
I'm going to let you go wherever you want to go with this show.
you said the show was going off the rails, so I was like, "Hey, okay, you're driving it. I'm taking it. Let's go."
Maybe Charles is watching and he could have,
I've talked to Charles since then. He thought it was funny, but he didn't think it was funny in the moment.
We have a Donna Blair sighting. She says, "I look forward to this show each Tuesday."
Of course he does.
How about
I'm
that?
telling you.
He still hadn't wore a hat like we've asked him.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it right here.
It's
Oh, he's got it.
There it is.
it's not Kentucky. Thank God.
Yeah, it's
Black Cat Cross Country. Right
Yeah,
here.
nice.
Supporting my Black Cat Cross Country runner.
Speaking of that, I got Gold Guard.
Uh-oh, hold on. There he
Wait,
is.
it's a shameless plug right there. There's the shameless plug.
Shameless plug. This is the moment of the show where everybody has their advertisements, and let's
Shameless
get
plug
those
night.
in real quick before Ray hits the music. We go to commercial. There it is.
There it is.
And we probably do need to go to commercial. So when we come back, we are going to talk about the impact of big college conferences making a bunch of big decisions, how that's going to all affect us. So, Ray, take over, buddy.
You're watching Coach's Box. We'll be right back.
We're not in the bag yet.
Since their inception in 1980, SMCI has always been about high integrity and treating people the way you would want to be treated, just like family. Mostly known as a commercial contractor, SMCI has now decided to give the family treatment to everyone. They are now opening their residential department to the public as Home by SMCI so everyone can experience the home treatment. Everyone deserves maximum comfort in their very own home. Isn't it time you come home? Contact SMCI at 636-337-4444 or on the web at homebysmci.com.
USA Mortgage, the home of possibility. Offices located in Festus, servicing homeowners from St. Louis to Cape Girardeau. Contact Justin Neal at 636-385-5232 or check him out on the web at festus.usa-mortgage.com.
Guys, I've always wanted to ask you this since you're both pitchers. What's your favorite pitch? It's a fastball? Okay, I know. It's a curveball. No? Okay, well, what's your favorite pitch?
Oh, yeah. Spitball.
The Main Street Sports Show. You never know what we're going to throw at you.
Where's the game? Where's the game? Where's the game? There's the game. Livestream STL, now available on Roku.
And welcome back to the Coach's Box here. Ray Halbrook from Livestream STL. We are just laughing it up, having a good time here with the boys here. So we're going to jump right back into our second segment here. And once I get my microphones on here, I guess we'll get things going here. Chris, go ahead and take it away, my friend.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you wanted to give me like a time to do a public apology.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, we're moving on. So
we're on to Cincinnati.
On to Cincinnati. Patriots fan, by the way. Anyway. Wow. I know. Hey, listen, I don't care what you guys think. Never mind.
Do they have a quarterback?
Do they have enough to actually have a team
Cam
this
Newton
year?
now.
Once again, do you have a quarterback?
Yeah.
What is in that water?
They got jerseys and everything. It's great.
Maybe.
A lot of them opting out, so
you don't know.
Maybe they'll have a team. Anyway, they have more players than the Cardinals do. So anyway, big news came out of college sports. The Big Ten and the Pac-12 are both canceling their fall sports for this year. Mm-hmm. And right now the SEC has plans to move forward and play, and so is the ACC. Mm-hmm. So everybody's kind of waiting to see what Big 12 does. And Jim, you have a lot of connections in college and everything. Why don't you give us your take on stuff?
Well, here's the big difference between the Big Ten and the Pac-10's announcement. The Pac-10 basically shut everything down till January 1st. That includes all the all the basketball. Anything played before Jan 1 is shut down in the Pac-12. So that's where there's kind of the difference. And unfortunately, that may start a domino effect with what we're going to see with Division I basketball. I've heard a lot of rumblings and different things. I know the coaches, and they're being led by a certain Kentucky coach.
Blame it on Kentucky.
No, but I mean, there's a lot of Division I coaches on the basketball side that are really pushing to, hey, let's just tap the brakes on this, go to Jan 1, condensed schedule. The biggest thing for the NCAA is they've got to get March Madness in. That's just the absolute bottom line because they cannot lose the money generated from the TV rights again for a second year in a row. They just can't do it.
Roughly, how much did they lose last year?
The number I've heard floated around was anywhere between $50 to $60 million.
Wow.
They can't take that hit.
Well, the thing is, that trickles down though. What that does is it trickles down to Division II. It trickles down to Division III. That I don't know what Division II and Division III lost money wise, but it was a big chunk. So with the Big Ten announcement just killing fall sports and looking to move it to the spring, and then the Pac-12 announcement, I don't know. The first thing I know is I'll flat out just say this: the Justin Fields of the world, some of those big names,
he won't play.
They're not going to play. If they play spring football, they're not going to play.
Right.
Because they're not going to ruin. They're not going to risk getting hurt.
Right.
They're not going to risk their draft stock.
No.
And different things along those lines. So it's going to be a very watered down type of deal for these two conferences. Now, all eyes go to the Big 12. They were meeting this afternoon. I'm really curious to see what Bob Bowlesby is going to pull out with this one because I've heard flat out that the SEC and the ACC, they're playing no matter what. They are going to make every effort to play as much as they possibly can.
Didn't basically Nebraska say the same?
Well, yeah, but here, the problem's going to be that nobody's going to want to play them. Nobody's going to be allowed to play them because you got the SEC and the ACC that are just saying we're playing conference only. So I don't see that scenario happening. And I like
Mizzou
Scott
might
Frost.
want to cancel too after their two pickups, LSU and Alabama.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Did you see that crap? I mean, Mizzou just gets crap.
I know.
But no, I mean, the definite domino effect, and it started this weekend with the Mid-American. And not a lot of people are saying that had a lot to do with it. I think it had a ton to do with it, especially the footprint that the Mid-American has. But everybody still says, well, the Ivy League was the first one. But you got to remember, the Ivy League was the first one that pulled the plug on basketball tournament. Yeah. The Ivy League is the first. I mean, you look at the Ivy League, they pretty much are the smartest people in the room right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of thinking it's just, it's a fairly prestigious place to go and play.
I mean, their football, it makes apples to oranges, compared to the Big Ten and compared to these other Power Fives, but they're staying ahead of the curve. And, I think with the Big Ten and the Pac-12, you kind of knew they were going to go because they do everything together pretty much. Now it's going to be interesting to see what the Big 12 does. That's going to be the curious shoe to drop here over the next 24 hours, and that announcement's coming pretty quick.
Let me ask this question about March Madness. Is there a way to bump that back? Say April, May, or
I'm telling you right now, I don't think the NCAA is taking anything off the table. I really don't, because they know they have to get that
even paying the players.
I think that's
are they
why
taking that off the table?
I think that's why they're not.
That's still there.
Okay.
And the thing is, the whole likeness, scenario and all that stuff, that's still out there. And you've got 3 states that have already passed that legislation.
Right.
So the NCAA doesn't have a choice. They have to figure it out pretty doggone quick because you've got Florida, California, and I forget who the third state was that's already passed the legislation that this is happening, whether you guys like it or not. This is going to happen. But no, I think, Zach, bottom line, they're going to do everything they possibly can. And if that means pushing it back, and I know the baseball coaches are kind of sitting back on the Division I side because they've been pushing for a couple years to move their season back to where the College World Series wouldn't start until, early July, late June, early July. Huh. This may be the perfect test scenario to maybe make that happen. Right. So I think there's a lot of different things that you can do and fit it in. I'm just really curious to see if they can really try to pull off Division I football. I think the FCS can play in the spring. I think Division II can play in the spring. It's going to put a stress on athletic staffs.
Well, that and the TV money. I mean, think about it. You're going to have football, basketball, all that.
I mean, I think it can be done.
Too.
But like in our case at Maryville, our fall sports are moved to the spring. I've, all kidding aside, I've pretty much said I'm not going to probably see my house other than to probably sleep from February until probably beginning of May, because we're most likely going to be stacked up with games every day and multiple games on the weekend. And if that's what we got to do to let our kids play, all for it. We're going to do it. We're going to make it work. We're going to do everything we possibly can. I think the GLVC did a tremendous job. Our leadership and all the presidents did a really nice job waiting to see what the landscape was going to be. But then when the NCAA came out and put all the protocols together and all that stuff, it's just not financially feasible that that any Division II or Division III school is able to do the testing and the contact tracing and everything that they want done in order to make sure that you can play.
And I think that's the biggest thing is the cost for the testing.
Is off the chart.
Yeah, it's off the charts, and it's one thing when you can look at, an Alabama or even a Mizzou, or I'm not even going to recognize Kentucky, but they have the money to do that.
It's good.
But Maryville or any of these NAI schools or Division 2, 3, all the way down, they don't have those kinds of funds to do that with all of their athletes in order to make it to where, it's safe, you can play.
Right. I mean, I used the perfect example. We were talking earlier. If you're a Division II school that's got football, that's 100 kids plus your soccer teams, plus your cross-country teams, plus your golf teams, plus your tennis teams. That's nearly 250 kids that you got to test on a weekly basis. You just cannot do it. And, that's where I think, our leadership, I think the Division II NCAA leadership, Division III NCAA leadership has done a terrific job in keeping that in the forefront, keeping the safety of the student athletes, at the top of mind. I know I'm excited to get our kids back on the campus. I've talked to a bunch of them via Zoom, doing some interviews and stuff like that, and they're excited to get back to campus. I mean, we're talking about kids that, you guys are going to see it on the high school side. They haven't been on campus or in their high schools since mid-March, late March.
No, our kids have been – it's been awesome, the attendance and to the sports and the enthusiasm we've had with the kids. I mean, they're sick of being at home too.
Yeah.
And they just want something to be a part of. And I'm just worried at how all these things happen in college is going to affect us.
There's a perfect segue.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's the sports on the national level, whether it's been pro or college, has set the standard for, okay, how's this going to affect us? Because as soon as the NBA, as soon as all these sports said, we're done, then all of a sudden, okay, now we're not doing spring sports in high school. And it did take a long time for Missouri to say, maybe we shouldn't be playing. And I know we want to try to get our kids those opportunities, but it's just one of those things that we're watching this going, okay, let's see if the shoe drops.
Well, here's my other thought process on this. Okay, high school, college difference. College can grant you an eligibility even after you graduate.
Yeah,
exactly.
Whereas the high school student, once you're graduated 4 years, you lost that eligibility. Yep. So it puts a big damper on high school athletics because those kids don't get this chance again.
Right.
And for some of these kids, this is their life. This is their lifestyle. This is what makes them get up every single day.
So real quick before we move over to the high school part of it, and this question for you, Jim, because you might know, has the NCAA talked about giving another year of eligibility to kids in the event for this coming year that they don't get a chance to play their sport?
I think those decisions are going to be made this week. It sounds like that they are going to really sit down and really look at that piece. I know the compliance people are meeting. I know everybody's kind of putting their 2 cents in and everything. I will say once again, Division II, everybody, the whole ball, everybody in the NCAA, I think did a terrific job in the spring, getting out in front of it. We're fortunate at Maryville because we have a couple of our programs that some of our spring sport athletes actually take part in, those programs that are 5-year programs. So we're actually going to get some kids that are going to come back and play for, and utilize that year that they would have lost. How they're going to approach the fall, I don't know. It all depends. I think a lot of things are going to depend upon whether they play in the spring. If they don't play in the spring, then I think the NCAA is going to be forced into giving those kids a year of eligibility back. But then it makes it tough on the coaches because now the recruiting cycle, and that's going to, it's going to take a couple years to kind of recover, on that recruiting cycle because then you're going to bring freshmen in. you've got a bunch of seniors that didn't get a chance to play this year. Some of them are going to come back, so now you got some freshmen that think, oh, wow, I'm going to get a chance to play. No, you're going to be redshirted for a year, and so it's going to take a little bit of time.
Well, and you might have freshmen that didn't play any high school.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that do with the number of scholarships that a program actually gets to have?
Right.
Does that mean you're going to get more or?
Well, I mean, if you're Mizzou and you
less?
self-report,
Then you get
you lose none. No.
One last question, Jim. So my question is, when it comes to sports, college, and then money, we know that NCAA football, multi-billion-dollar, March Madness makes hundreds of millions of dollars. What actual impact does that have with the schools? So if we didn't have anything in the spring, we're not going to potentially have anything in the fall for some of these conferences. So that's going to go into the springtime. What does that actually do for the university itself? They're out all this money. How does that affect? Is it affecting the regular student? Is that now affecting faculty? Like, what's the trickle-down effect? Because, in colleges you do have, people that are all about sports, and then you have academia that, no, sports really don't matter. But really there is this,
That's the
connection between the two.
Ivy League.
But what happens? What's the trickle-down effect?
Well, once again, the trickle-down effect is, and I think you're seeing it on a lot of levels. There's a lot of, programs that have been cut on not only the Division I level, but, Division II, Division III. There's been a lot of sports that have been cut. There's been, I believe, 4 Division III schools, pretty much shut their athletic departments down. Completely. I mean, just nothing. So the trickle-down effect is there. And when you talk about March Madness, they do it by, okay, if your conference wins a first-round game, you get X amount of money. Then if they advance to the round of 32, then they get X amount of money. Loyola Chicago, got the Missouri Valley Conference, I want to say anywhere from $6 to $7 million, right in that ballpark maybe. And a lot of that money was gone because they didn't get a chance to play, this past year in March Madness. And once again, there's that trickle-down effect. Those schools that make it into the tournament, they're going to get already for their conference X amount of money, and then the conference pools all that money together and they divvy it out. Amongst all the schools, they use it for conference stuff, to upgrade equipment, to upgrade websites and different things along those lines. So, your trickle-down effect is there, but then you take it to the next layer. I don't think it affects, the students so much, but I think it starts to affect, some of the other programs that maybe aren't money generators, so to say. And we've already seen that. I mean, Stanford, they dumped, I believe, 13 programs. Now, only 3 of them were NCAA sponsored, but then the other ones were all club sports. That's the part that you start looking at, because what happens then? There's a group of kids that were on your campus, okay, it's a club sport. Now, what are those kids going to do? They're going to transfer to another school, or they're going to do different things.
And they don't have to be held to the transfer rules.
Exactly.
So you're losing those kids and their tuition. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We got a question from Kyle Bohr. He's not very important, is he? I'm kidding. I love Kyle.
He's tremendously important.
Tremendous.
Tremendously important.
What about juniors in college football? Will they be eligible for the draft? I mean,
that's going to be up to the NFL.
Yeah.
And once again, I think the trickle-down effect there is going to be if everybody goes into spring and they have spring football, it's all going to depend who's going to opt out and all that stuff. And then the NFL will make the decision, okay, do we keep the combine when we normally have it? Do we have the draft when we normally have it? And I think that's where the NFL is going to have to make those decisions. That's not going to be an NCAA problem. That's going to be an NFL problem.
Well, and then if you think back to like not having a season and guys getting drafted, remember Mike Williams, who sat out because he was trying to fight the rule, and then, he wasn't that great in the NFL. Right. Missed the whole year of his football.
Florette.
Yeah. So, just another example, too. So, there's a lot of questions that the NCAA, there's no winning.
No.
There's a lot of it they've created themselves from the past decisions they've made.
Right.
So, but right now, there's just no right decision. We feel like, I think I can speak for all of us when we feel like we see that from a MSHSAA standpoint. There's no right decision they're making because you're having to deal with stuff that somebody is not gonna be happy, somebody's gonna like it, somebody is not, and it's just the way it is.
I flat out said it. I would not want to be an AD right now on any level. I would not want to, because those decisions that are being made right now, you're in no-win situations, whether it's the NCAA, whether it's collegiate sports, whether it's high school sports, whether it's MSHA, the ADs at our local schools, the superintendents at our local schools. I mean, there's just you're in a no-win situation right now. And does it suck? Absolutely it does, because you're trying to figure out the best thing to do for the kids. But once again, what's the right answer? What's the wrong answer? How can we do it the right way and make sure that everybody stays safe? And I'm glad I'm not in that office. I'm glad I go into my office, I type up releases, I cover games, I do videos, and I'm a happy camper.
Well, and we've seen locally with MSHA coming out and talking about virtual school and how they're allowing schools that are all virtual to play. I know at some local school districts they've changed. They had the policy saying, hey, you know what? You have to be enrolled here. You have to be enrolled to go to school and then to play. And then all of a sudden school boards have walked that back and said, hey, even if you decide to go virtual, we're going to allow
they were saying that you're going to have to be in school. You have to sit your butt in a seat and attend school.
Got changed
and they
quick.
want some of the big cash cows in St. Louis to say, we're going to go virtual. They just stepped it on back. And, really, what can they do?
Right.
I mean, at that point, you don't want to be blamed for telling however many kids in one of the largest school districts in the state of Missouri, y'all can't play. It's just they're not going to do that. They don't want to be the bad guy, and really you just got to leave it up to the counties and the health departments and the ADs and the superintendents and let them deal with it and say
that's
is
the
up
problem.
to you.
We don't have a one person or a one entity that's going to make this decision, and that's why I think it's all over the place.
Well, and that's the biggest problem. But at the same time, it's also the thing that because otherwise it's one person, one group saying you're doing this, and then somebody's going to be happy and somebody's going to be upset, and here it is.
It's all different.
At least we're going to do it this. And listen, from being around small schools, it's different in those areas, in the rural areas, than it is here. So instead of it being we're going to make a unilateral decision that affects everybody, even though you don't deal with the same thing, it's probably actually the best thing they could have done is to step back from it and say, you guys deal with it. Here's what we're going to say overall, kind of an umbrella situation. You guys deal with it. Here's some safety measures. Do those. And as things change, it's fluid. We'll change some of our stuff too.
We go.
Yeah. And I know, I'm a part of two different school districts. One
I know. You're repping
you're repping both tonight.
I mean, is that legal?
I guess. But what's interesting...
He's being fluid.
Yes, being fluid. Exactly, fluid. But what's interesting is, so now that it's the start of the year, we're getting all these emails at the beginning.
Yeah.
So one district gets all these protocols, all these regulations. The other district, completely different. What are we, separated 10, 15 miles at most?
There's a wall.
There's a wall there.
There's a wall.
Yeah.
See, that's the one
Smart
thing.
virus, right?
Smart virus.
Well, that's
Can't cross the Merrimack.
and that's the kind of thing that you talk about. Like, let's just say, for instance, that
That's kind of what I was getting at earlier.
and our county has stuck together pretty well. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, they've kind of come all together and they meet together and they can discuss this. What's best for not just you or me or whatever. It's what's best for us, And as a whole, I think that's seen more positives than negatives, as much as a lot of the locals want to think. I think you see more positives, and from your standpoint, being in the city and the county, I mean, they're going by school basis, and there's no uniform, there's no camaraderie together. So all these schools are doing different things, and so many kids are not getting an opportunity.
Even the different conferences.
Yes. Yeah. So you just take what's best for the kids and throw it out the window at some point. And I think that's where one thing that our county has done is put the kids' best interest in mind from the get-go. As much as sometimes we don't like the decisions, I think ultimately the decisions they're making are what's best for the kids at first and not anything else.
But the one thing I'll say, I mean, at least the one unity part up in St. Louis County right now is, the task force, the COVID-19 sports medicine task force. They're doing everything they possibly can to make it safe and to list protocols and different things along those lines. A lot of people don't agree with it. I mean, you should have seen social media go absolutely berserk on July 15th when the county executive rolled back to level 1 because that trickle-down effect hit all the high schools because that put them back to only 10 people in a practice.
Correct.
Different things along those lines. So now they went back to phase 2 starting yesterday. Now it's a modified phase 2, but you can't practice as a team. You can't hit. You can only condition. You can only do X amount of things. At least you can have 20 people, and you can do it like 20 people down in this end zone, 20 people down in that end zone, but you can't really do a whole heck of a lot.
Right.
So that's where there is that unity there. Not everybody's buying into it. I'll flat out tell you that right now.
Sure.
It is a hot-button topic up in St. Louis County.
Wait, St. Louis schools do whatever they want?
I'm not going to go down that road, ladies and gentlemen.
And just real quick, though, I mean, and I'll use this as an example. I was talking to Coach Tilden about, with the mission mandates about the, kids having to wear the masks on the sideline, and kids were complaining about it. And his response was this: do you want to play football or
Exactly.
not? Yep. And we can all disagree and have your own feel about it. Do you want to play? Yeah. Then wear the mask and let's go, and let's just that way you get a chance to play.
That was said a million times.
I'm not sure that's not. It's just
that was said a million times today at our practice. Yeah. I mean, hey, we're lucky to be here.
Yeah.
We're lucky to be here. Wear the darn mask and be. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I hate the mask, but I'm gonna wear it. If I get to coach. And I get to teach, and we're at school, I'll wear a mask. I'll wear a shield. I don't care.
Yeah. I was watching ESPN. They were covering
hazmat suit.
They were covering the Pac-12 announcement, and Rod Gilmore, who does a terrific job as an analyst for college football on ESPN, they were talking to him, and his comment resonated with me because it's something that I've been saying for the last month. He goes, "Listen, we're in this position not because of those kids. We're in this position because of us. Mm-hmm. We need to look ourselves in the mirror as society right now. Because if we would have done everything that's been asked of us to do and we would have educated those kids, we wouldn't have to be worrying about the Big Ten pulling the plug on the fall sports. We wouldn't have to worry about that. Maybe that number is coming so far down to where, okay, we can at least try and do some stuff. And I tell you what, for a national guy to just flat out come out and say it, I liked Rod Gilmore a lot. I like him even more now because it's about time that somebody on the national level just flat out said it the way it should have been said. If we wear our masks, we do everything we need to do, I think we got a shot to get football in. If that number comes up again, I think high school football in the St. Louis area could be done because they're not going to take any chances. They're not going to run the risk of kids getting sick, passing it along, and then getting on, heaven forbid, we have an outbreak or one student athlete ends up in the ICU on a ventilator. What school is going to want their name attached to that? I know you guys don't want that.
No.
And I know the coaches and the ADs and the superintendents in St. Louis don't want that. So, it really resonated with me for a national guy to say that. And it makes absolute perfect sense. If we would have done everything we needed to do in May, June, and July, we wouldn't be worrying about this kind of stuff right now.
I mean, if everybody done what they're supposed to do, like wash their hands and not bite bats or whatever they've said, then we would be in a situation. You go to the bathroom, wash your hands.
Yeah. All right, so
sorry.
So we have kids that do select baseball. So that's been going on since May, June, July. Here it is, August. All right. So realistically, let me ask this question: NFL, they're paying for the test. College, they're paying for the test. School districts aren't paying for these COVID tests. That's money that they don't have that's already been cut and all this jazz. So my
they
question,
got printing press in the closet.
Oh, okay, yeah. Man. But so the issue is how do they make this decision when we're talking about sickness, COVID, all of that versus high school sports? Like to me, it's apples and oranges when you compare college and pros versus high school because it's not like every kid's going to be tested. Oh, well, Coach, I had a headache today, or Coach, I didn't feel well. Well, go home and come back tomorrow. Like, that's all. That's all that's going to happen. Yeah. It's not like,
or they don't say it.
Or they don't say it.
Which is the biggest fear.
That is the biggest fear.
Because you
right
tell
there.
your kids, like, you're playing through it. And I don't know how many times it's, well, are you sick? Or my best one is, are you injured or are you hurt?
Yeah, big deal.
That is
the difference.
As an official, that right there, that's my biggest fear.
Right.
That is my going to work a volleyball match or going, when basketball season starts to go to a basketball game. We're doing everything we need to do. Mm-hmm. This is, once again, it comes back down to the adults need to educate the students. Yes. And more than ever, the coaches need to be just beating the drum. And like you said, you guys said it's at football practice today at least 100 times. Put the masks on. You got to wear the mask. You got to do this, that, and the other thing.
Well, and our kids have done a really good job with it. It's just the difference of knowing, like, when should I have it on now? Or, if you're running full speed, it's kind of hard with the mask on.
Right.
And so, but our kids did a good job of it. It's just they're kids.
Yeah,
I tell you right now, when I was 16, if this would have broke out, I wouldn't have been wearing a mask.
And here's the other thing to think about. Okay, they're going to wear that mask there on the sidelines for you. They're going to leave there and go to Johnny's house.
Mm-hmm. You mean the 7 of them that piled in the Toyota Corolla when they left?
But so at our point, we failed those kids by telling them that's still okay to do. And as a coach, as a parent, I'm in the same boat. I mean, there's a certain time where you say, hey, you have to do this, and you need to tell them this is what you're going to do, or you're not going to participate.
Well, but you got people that won't even go into Walmart because they have to. You're supposed to wear a mask. So we're not going to we're not going to get all the parents to do what they need to do.
But I'm
all
saying
the kids,
we don't now anyway.
Coaches.
That's where we're at. That's what he's kind of saying is we've failed. If we would have been doing this from the get-go and explaining to us, here we go, there it is.
So I got a text
you
about
knew it was
that.
coming.
I got a text about that. Sorry.
But I think that's the common thing that we're struggling with the kids is, we don't know what they do when they leave us. We can only control what they do when we're with them for the 2.5, 3.
But that's our job.
But once again, that's where the parents need to help the coaches, the ADs, the superintendents make their decisions easier. Educate the kids on what to do and how to do it the right way. This is an unprecedented time. We just all have to do it.
I don't know. I think we're kind of getting left out here because haven't the numbers gone up the last 3 months? Haven't they? Yeah, numbers have gone up, right?
Some testing's been done.
Right, some testing has been done, numbers gone. I just think we're the sacrificial lamb, schools and high school sports. Well, we're going to have to shut down. Well, life has gone on since May, June, July, August. Here we are. You've been at plenty of events. I've been at plenty of events.
Taco Bell's still open.
Right. I don't. So all of that's okay, but yet
I've been to Walmart a million times. I've delivered 500 pizzas.
That's okay to do, but not playing high school sports, not being a part of.
I absolutely agree. And that comment has been made a gazillion times. I absolutely agree with you on that. I really do. It's exactly true.
Final question, real quick, before we get off of this segment here. If there's a 5th year of eligibility, who gets the scholarship?
It all depends on what the scholarship pool is that is allotted to each individual school. Division I's different, Division II is different. It all depends on how that scholarship's set up and all that kind of stuff. And basically, it's up to the coaches on how they want to divvy up that scholarship money.
Makes sense.
There you have it. There you are. All right, we're going to step aside for just a quick second. You're watching the Coach's Box. We'll be right back.
Where's the game? Where's the game? Where's the game? There's the game. Livestream STL, now available on Roku.
I wonder what Coach Jarvis is up to.
hang on a minute. I got a call from Blair.
What am I doing? I'm sitting here watching the Coach's Box.
This must be a wrong number. USA Mortgage, the home of possibility. Offices located in Festus, servicing homeowners from St. Louis to Cape Girardeau. Contact Justin Neal at 636-385-5232 or check him out on the web at festus.usa-mortgage.com.
Since their inception in 1980, SMCI has always been about high integrity and treating people the way you would want to be treated, just like family. Mostly known as a commercial contractor, SMCI has now decided to give the family treatment to everyone. They are now opening their residential department to the public as Home by SMCI so everyone can experience the home treatment. Everyone deserves maximum comfort in their very own home. Isn't it time you come home? Contact SMCI at 636-337-4444 or on the web at homebysmci.com.
Welcome back to our final segment here of the Coach's Box, and that means we've got a lot of stuff going on here. And I guess, does everybody have their tablets out here to write down questions or answers for things? Let me turn you guys' microphone on.
Are we
gonna every time?
Are we going to do the top five first?
Yeah, let's do the top five first. I like that.
So
good idea.
We were going to do it last week, and then Shooty knocked out the power.
Yeah, you sure did.
Can't take that guy anywhere.
It was Shooty's fault.
You bring him back on the show.
I see it go dead. I'm thinking, okay, what the world's going on? So I call you guys, and then I started blaming Jarvis because he was in the sling for knocking the power out.
Right? Well, I get blamed for everything on this show if you haven't figured it out.
Jason, I figured that out the second time I watched the show.
Unless Blair's not here for some vacation or something. That's the only time.
Taking like his fourth vacation of the year.
The only time I don't get blamed. Yeah, like his fifth vacation.
I got another one coming.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Hey, Pepsi money, babe. He's
wrong business.
Yeah, he's right. He's got it.
So who do we want to start with first? That's what I want.
I mean,
You pick it. You say who.
let's start with our guest.
Well, we can do that. I don't have the graphic for it, but we'll add brand spanking new top five for Jim Powers. Take it away. Your top five sports movies of all time.
Caddyshack.
Oh,
Wait, what number?
1. I'm starting with 1 and going down.
Oh, you're like Trey Wingo. Trey Wingo's top five.
Caddyshack by far. Major League,
Okay.
number 2.
Nice.
And the reason Major League number 2 is because that's when I lived back in Northeast Ohio, and that came out the year before the Indians decided to play baseball and make it to the playoffs.
Nice.
Longest Yard, the new one.
Ooh.
Tin Cup.
Okay,
Good one.
Yeah.
Tin Cup.
And this is a movie that not a lot of people like, but once again, it's about a Cleveland sports team.
Oh, boy.
Draft Day.
That's Draft Day.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
It's a
good.
good list.
I only watched it when quarantine started. That was the first time I watched it.
No, I watched that.
That's
Really?
the first time I watched
That's a
it.
good
And I like
movie.
Kevin Costner.
Hey, we could have had a top five of Kevin Costner.
Sports movies,
right.
absolutely.
Done that.
Right.
We should do
Field
that
of
another
Dreams,
time.
Yeah.
Tin Cup. I mean, you could have definitely done that. But
How many times was Tin Cup referenced when we were playing golf?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Ball. That's the last one in the bag.
Right? We're going to move over to Riley Blair. Riley, your top 5, and let me pull it up. Here it comes right here. Blair's top 5.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
number 1.
Why you guys got to go?
Let's start
for
with number 5.
Go with the
Okay,
five.
I'll start with number 5.
I'm not gonna,
All right.
I'll cut Jim slack. You've been here before.
I want to know what my number 1 is right away. I mean, it's the all-time favorite. But number 5, Coach Carter. Coach
right.
Carter, putting into the play of that movie, I think it sets the difference in between, is it just about the game of basketball or is it more than that? Is it sports more than just the game of sports or whatever you're playing? So I think that was an important movie for me. The 4th one, Sandlot. I think that this is an awesome movie, but we don't see enough of this in today's society where you get a bunch of kids together and go out and play.
I agree.
Can't do it anymore.
No, they don't do it.
No, you can't do it.
So to me,
Right now you can't, no.
that's a big time thing for me as a parent. I mean, I want my kid to go out and just go play. Go have some fun.
Go outside. Get away.
Be a kid. Be a kid. But so many things going on with this, trafficking and stuff. That, we don't want to get involved with all that. But number 3, Major League.
I'll explain to you later, Jason.
Traffic is red light.
Is he hanging out with Biden?
The views of this show are not necessarily the views of Livestream STL.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yikes. I'm going to leave there.
So back to that top 5.
Under number 2 would be Rudy. One of my ultimate favorites besides number 1. But, Rudy puts a lot about it. Somebody that's persevering, just wanted to make sure he'd get an opportunity to be on that field and to be a player.
I have one question
Yes.
about that movie. Do you cry?
Maybe.
Oh, you know he does.
That's great.
My wife will probably comment on that because she saw me watch this movie a ton of times. But I just like the whole concept of that movie and what it means. For people to just never quit. Give the opportunity. Don't ever accept no. Accept it, and that's the common theme that I think that I teach my kids. Same thing is if you told no, find a way to be told yes. Find a way to be told yes. And then the number 1 all-time favorite movie of all time, probably watched this during basketball season, maybe 1,800 times in my career, is the movie Hoosiers. I just showed this to my basketball team this year. We went to a coach's house and watched this movie right before postseason, and just wanted them to understand that the small town teams can always have a chance to win.
He's a Kentucky fan.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But it's just the theme of that it doesn't matter how big or how small the school is. You're still going to have an opportunity to have success. It's all about the team and the 5 of them getting together and playing together as one unit. And to me, that's my all-time favorite. Top 5 movies.
There you have it. There you are. We're going to jump over to Coach McVay.
All right, here's my honorable mention list. Ready?
Oh, man, look at
Sandlot.
you. Overachiever.
Sandlot.
Wow.
That came out when I was a kid. The Rookie.
Oh, yeah.
The Rookie. Rocky 4. Rocky 4. I love it.
This
All
is your
honorable
mentions.
Did
Yeah.
we
Hey,
even
here you go,
have
T-Bar,
that?
here you
We
go.
didn't.
Here you
He's an
go.
overachiever.
Overachiever, right? Hey, here you go. He got game.
I have a bunch of lists on mine.
Man.
He didn't do a commercial today. That's
There
what
you
this
go.
is what he
Hey, here's the sleeper. Blue Chips.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
That's a good
Love
one.
it. All right.
Shaquille.
But here's my top 5. Number 5, Major League. Number 4, Tin Cup. Number 3, Friday Night Lights. Number 2, Moneyball. And then number 1, Bull Durham.
Bull Durham.
Don't get your right out.
Yeah. There you go. I can get you right now. Yeah.
Moneyball may be one
that
of the
was a
most
humdinger.
underrated movies out there, but I still watch that at least 2 or 3
I'll
times
watch
a
it.
year.
My wife drives me nuts. If it's on TV, I'm watching it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's-
In fact, Moneyball was one of the first dates that I had with my better half.
Nice.
There you go.
Awesome.
All right.
My favorite thing is like, well, can you get on base? Can you get on base? I mean, it's good stuff.
There are teams
no,
here.
Yeah.
There are teams here, and we are here.
You can't say the rest of the lines. It's a family show.
I can't say the rest of it, but
Ray
yes.
will have a heart attack.
This is a family show.
That's right.
All right. We're going to move down to Coach Jarvis. Let me pull up your top 5. Here it is right here. Go right ahead.
Oh, you got some honorable mentions too?
I have a lot of honorable mentions. I mean, Miracle,
Good one.
The Natural,
Yes.
Natural's good.
Love and Basketball, White Men Can't Jump, Karate Kid. I mean, because I grew up during that.
Karate Kid.
Hey, that's a sport.
Absolutely.
I mean,
100%.
you know, I had Coach Carter also, but I narrowed them down. 5, Friday Night Lights, which Coach McVay had. And I played college football. Football was my first love. Now I think basketball is my love. But 4th, Remember the Titans.
Mm-hmm. Good one.
3rd, Field of Dreams. I really, of baseball movies, that's one of my favorites. I didn't cry.
You're not American then.
No. 2, Hoosiers. Jimmy Chitwood. Come on.
We're going to run the picket fence. We're going to run a picket fence at him.
Yeah.
And he has a great role in that movie, too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's good.
And I didn't narrow down like Rocky 4, Rocky 1, Rocky. I mean, Rocky was my favorite.
All time.
All of them.
Good.
I loved all of them. Rocky 4, though, I mean, you know, the Russian and all that. Yeah, that was
I must break you.
I must break you. That was one of my and the soundtrack with Rocky 4 was
If
so
he
good.
dies,
Yeah, absolutely.
He dies.
What's your prediction?
If he dies, he dies.
You know, that's in 3.
That's 3. Oh, I know. But
Oh,
he's
that's-
just saying
that's
the
good.
whole gambit.
Yeah,
the original Rocky, even though it was 1976 when I
He
was
lost.
born when it was out. But,
he lost that one.
I know, but it's the
It just
Spoiler.
dawned on me. I may
Spoiler.
be the oldest one at this table right now because I remember the original.
no, I was like, well, oh heck, how can you not like that one? He goes to the meat locker and just
Starts beating the crap
Yes.
out of stuff.
That's right. It's a good
I
story.
was 4 years old in 1976, just so you know. So there you go.
you're old.
Yeah.
Dirt.
Seasoned.
Coach,
All right,
Coach Miller.
Well, I mean,
Let me load it up.
it's-
Hold on.
All
Let me
right,
load it up here. Let me find it.
don't throw it up there yet. I mean, because
Well, go ahead.
there's
all right.
first off, I'm a huge fan of the Rocky series as well. Rocky 3 was always one of the movies when I was a kid I loved to watch because I was a big Mr. T fan.
And
I
Hulk
mean, it's like
Hogan in there.
Hulk Hogan's in it.
Thunder
Thunder
Lips.
Lips. Yeah, it's great. And just like you said, Pain. I loved it. Rocky 4 is obviously one. The Sandlot came out when I was a kid.
I liked Rocky 5. I know it's
Okay, wait a
it's
minute.
panned.
No.
You didn't like Rocky 5?
When he fought Tommy Gunn?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no, it's
you didn't
terrible.
like-
No, they
It's still
could he could have done
entertaining.
without it. It's like Stallone needed to make a buck. Okay, it's tough times. So, and then right at Field of Dreams is one of those that's always on the fence for me because, I mean, you're un-American if it gets that part where he's like, "Is this heaven?" No, it's Iowa, and he wants to play catch with his dad.
Yes.
It's great. Okay, but my top 5 is number 5, The Longest Yard, the original one, because I'm a fan of the original. Okay, I think it's better, even though it's funny. I mean,
yeah.
I will watch The Longest Yard, but if I had to pick between the two, the original is still the best. Number 4, Major League, because I don't know
great
how many
one.
times, even being a baseball coach, I have quoted that all the time, or just watch it. I think I just did it, matter of fact, in the show.
one more.
And
It's called the winning
we're-
streak.
Take over, Monty. I'm in the bag. It's my favorite is when he asks him, you want to coach? You want to coach? I don't know. You know, it's like, what do you mean you don't know? They call you back. There's a guy about white walls on the other line. I mean, it's just great. Wait, you can't beat that. It's totally quotable. It's like Forrest Gump. Remember the Titans? I've watched. If it's on, I will watch it. If it pops up
hard
on
not to
Disney
watch.
Plus
Right.
and there's nothing, I'm like, yeah, I'm watching it. I'm going to watch it. Just a great story anyway. Again, the original Rocky for me because it sets the standard. It's just that good.
Yo, Adrian.
Obviously. And then I'm a basketball coach, Hoosiers.
That pumps.
It is. It still gets still that little tingle to it. It was one of the movies that me and my dad enjoyed watching. So, And Gene Hackman is the
Gene Hackman, baby.
perfect role
Premier
for
for
him.
that.
Absolutely. And I mean,
And I'm sure we're missing a ton.
Norman
Oh,
Dale.
That's
Well,
the thing, there's-
one of the movies we used to watch all the time before our college football games, which is not a lot of people don't like it. The Program.
Program.
You lost your bonnet.
We're not
I
doctors.
love that
We're not
movie.
doctors. A lot of people put 30 pounds of muscle on in the summertime.
You know what the cool thing is, though, about Hoosiers? And it's really neat because a bunch of the St. Louis teams have been able to do this. They've been able to go out
Yes.
and play at the original facility.
that'd be awesome.
I mean,
That's what I
you
wanna
know,
do.
I mean, I've talked to, Jason Wolford of Lindbergh took his kids out there. Shane Matson, the AD at Marquette, they took their teams out there.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I mean, just the experience that those kids had to be able to kind of live that and see it. And, they've seen the movie, but to be able to see that facility is just absolutely just mind-boggling.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
We stopped by there on their way to Ohio last year. Man, wow.
Yeah,
It's just-
without a doubt.
When
It's-
you watching that movie as much as I have, and then walking into there, wow, it just takes your breath away.
Oh, I bet that would be awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, I've watched that movie so many times. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, when I moved here, and I was still, going back home and driving back home to Northeast Ohio, always side little trip.
Absolutely.
Pull in,
absolutely.
visit for a little bit, walk around a little bit, just to, just kind of see everything, get back in the car, ready to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised nobody had Varsity Blues.
I like
I just
Varsity
watched
Blues.
that the other night, actually.
I didn't see the circus. The circus in town. I didn't see the trucks.
He scared my cat. He scared my cat.
Hey,
What do you think, Billy
Jarvis?
Bob?
I
10.
saw
10.
that. Coach Pollock.
Coach Pollock wants to know, I can't believe Jarvis didn't have Talladega Nights on his.
Which is a very good one.
You're not on fire, Ricky Bobby.
Very good one. My hands.
There was no Bad New Bears. I was.
Well, we did a lot of serious movies.
Right.
That's the thing. We could have had different categories.
Yeah,
I think I went with the funny one with Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Oh, Caddyshack's great.
To me, that's the ultimate right there because just,
And you had
I still
Friday
gotta do
Night
mine.
Lights.
Whoa.
And
Hey,
I-
we haven't had.
Wait.
I still got to do mine.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
yeah.
we got one
Here we go.
left.
We
I
got one
forgot.
left. Here we go.
Oh my bad.
Real quick. And I've got my 50 honorable mentions.
know he
like
was doing
everybody else. My
50
goodness.
honorable mentions.
Jeez. Let me pull it up here real quick. And I did do one.
Your top 50?
My top 50.
Top 50. Number 65.
The entire my number 5 was the entire Rocky saga. I like that. The Natural, number 4.
Yeah, there we
Pick
go.
I
that
have
Bobby.
2 for number 3, so I kind of did give me the Rocky saga, I guess.
All
as
right,
a
Trey.
honorable-
A, B.
Okay. I have Major League and Tin Cup as number 3. This one I think is going to just absolutely curveball everybody. The Replacements.
Replace?
Oh.
Winners want the ball.
That's right.
Chicks
so
dig scars.
winners, chicks dig the
Last
scars. So, I Will Survive. And
good scene.
and Hoosiers number 1. So 2 Gene Hackman movies, top 2 there.
Oh,
So,
Gene Hackman's awesome.
It's all about
Yeah.
Gene Hackman. So those are mine.
Has anybody ever seen The French Connection
Yes.
with him? Okay. So it's like us and nobody else.
Well, once again, I am the
Yeah,
oldest guy in this rigid table right now.
I mean, and out of all, I think I'm the youngest guy here. We got this, though. Yeah, forget you guys. All right. It's a good one to watch. It's just a
I'm
good,
writing
it's a good
it down,
movie.
so
Popeye Doyle. Get on it. Anyway, so
Well, I was going to
We
say
didn't
when
do over the top. I mean, that's
His
arm
front-
wrestling.
wait. Necessary roughness.
That's the we could have categories.
Kathy Ireland.
Texas State.
Yeah.
That's right.
This could have been a whole show
I like
just
that.
off the top
Oh, yeah.
5.
Man,
Different
we-
categories.
Maybe
of
we should
sports.
do
I
that.
liked Friday Night Lights, the series,
Yeah,
better
Yes.
than the movie.
show.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I just watched that thing religiously when it was on, and
I just started rewatching it.
I need to do that.
I did Last Chance U. I watched the new season.
oh, the
which,
new one was pretty good.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
good. That coach, I mean,
And seeing what those kids did just to play football, that
Living
one
in
dude
a
was
car.
driving 2 hours.
yeah, the one kid living in
a
his car.
and people think sports don't mean anything.
No,
You
no.
can't watch that without going, holy moly.
Yeah, this season, it was the last season of it that they're doing
They're
for
gonna
the
do
football, but they're going to
basketball. I
basketball.
can't wait.
Yeah, I thought they ended the football part of it tremendously because I think this year more than ever it really showed what these kids will do to play the sport that they love. And
yeah.
I thought and that coach, the one thing that stood out to me was in the middle. It was like the second or third episode. And the one kid that they just moved from wide receiver, he was like the number 4 quarterback. And if you haven't watched it, I'm sorry, this is a teaser. So, but he was really struggling.
Oh yeah.
Well, the coach's wife is a social worker and a counselor. He literally pulled the kid out of practice, walked over to the bench, grabbed his phone, got his wife on the phone, and said, "Here, can you talk to this dude for a little bit? He's really struggling with some stuff." Handed the kid the phone. That right there. That's what it's all about.
Agreed.
Well, that is exactly what it's all about.
I loved it because it depicted people don't understand what coaches do for their players, and I'm not saying it because I had coaches that really touched me, and that's why I wanted to be in this profession. And there's coaches out there that have spent thousands and thousands of their own money.
Right.
Dollars of their own money. They do all these things that people don't see, and that's what all anyone sees is the bad stuff, it seems like.
Yeah.
And that good stuff is not ever brought up, or the coach that had someone buy some shoes for a player or do this or that, and he was hard on them, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he has his players at heart. And it was
they respected him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They did whatever they asked of him because of that, because of those little things that sets you up.
And coaching at college like that, jeez,
yeah,
so awesome. But that's all you do is football, or that's all you do is basketball. How awesome would that be?
I'm sure there's some high schools in Missouri you can do that.
No, maybe close.
Maybe. Never know.
Yeah, never know. I'm saying that. That was a good segue.
Wow.
Is it trivia time?
I think it's time for
That's going to
the
be a
trivia.
trivia question, isn't it?
No.
Wow.
The answer is no, Scott.
How about no?
Notice I'm not touching that one. I'm going to let that one go.
All right. I guess we'll get this going.
Get your pads out.
I mean, I already ticked off everyone that loves Joy 99.1. So, I mean,
I've had a couple of people who are really upset that you said that. So
I've had to field a lot of questions.
Oh,
and
have
a
you?
lot of feedback for that. Yes.
I think the radio station's going to come out and make a statement.
All right, we have Joy FM on the line here.
I'll talk to him.
All right.
Tell those people to go left hand lane. Hey, you guys made me do a tirade. That's the only thing I can come up with.
Before you give them a bumper sticker, make sure they know: do not drive in the left lane.
By accepting the sticker.
All right, here we go. So we're going to change it up a little bit. I've got a plethora of categories, and I'm going to allow
cornucopia.
That's a quarter. That's a quarter word for Mr. Shooty. So I'm going to have Jim Powers choose the category, and the categories are this: baseball, basketball, football, golf, field hockey, horse racing, NASCAR.
That'd be good.
Oh, we're going golf right out of the gate.
Golf. All right, here we go. Let me pull
You
it
got
up
a
here.
chance.
Golf. So you're saying there's a chance?
Come on, Jarvis.
I'm terrible at golf.
No,
I hate
I'm
golf.
just saying.
I don't like it.
Win.
I like Tin Cup, the movie, but I don't like golf. Caddyshack, yes.
All right. All right, here's a good one. What golfer invented the modern sand wedge?
Wow.
Sand.
Sandwich?
Sand wedge.
Modern sandwich.
The modern sand wedge.
When do you use that?
Okay. When you're in the sand.
Oh. I don't play on the beach.
It is what it is.
Hey,
You just pick the ball up and throw it.
The last three or four tournaments I played in, their sand wasn't playable. So
Yeah.
stay out of it.
Right? Let me get here's the answers.
You miss a good time when you don't play golf with us.
I'm going to have to go. I won't play.
Well, why not?
I'll drive the cart.
Listen, I don't play very well anyway.
Can I get the answers out here?
No.
Here we go.
We're waiting.
Byron Nelson, Gene Sarazen, Sam Snead, or Ben Hogan? What golfer invented the modern sand wedge? Byron Nelson, Gene Sarazen, Sam Snead, or Ben Hogan? Answers. Go ahead.
I have no idea.
Gene.
Gene Sarazen. A. B.
Gene Hackman.
Nelson.
Come on, Jarvis.
So the answer is Gene Sarazen. So I have two correct.
Did you get it
I
right?
have two
Oh,
correct.
my gosh.
There it is.
Damn it, McVay. I was I'll give Riley. I don't want him to win. I'd rather. No, I didn't.
That's only question
I
one.
would rather you win. My bad.
Jarvis, I'd rather Jim win.
Take the
cup home and
give us
everything.
another. Jim, give us another.
Horse racing.
Oh,
Oh my goodness! Horse racing.
Miller, I'm
trivia.
making it tough on you tonight, man.
I love it. I love it.
By the way, there was a little bit of money exchange too because they're tired of you seeing that cup.
See, I've told you guys all along it's rigged.
This is rigged. All right.
So tonight, Jarvis, it can't be rigged. I'm trying to rig it against him.
It's rigged one way or the other.
Here's your question. Here's the question. Which race is not part of the Triple Crown? Which race is not a part of the Triple Crown? Is it the Preakness Stakes, the Breeders' Cup, the Belmont Stakes, or the Kentucky Derby? Which race is not a part of the Triple Crown?
You're wrong.
Preakness, Breeders' Cup,
Speak
Belmont,
those again.
or Kentucky
Speak
Derby?
those again.
Preakness Stakes, the Breeders' Cup,
You know it, don't you?
I'm trying to
Take
share
a
the
Belmont
guess. We'll
Stakes,
see. I don't know.
Belmont, or Kentucky Derby?
I might have got one right.
Nice.
Yep.
They got it all. They all got it right.
Did he get
Every single one of you got it right. Yeah, the Breeders' Cup.
Did
It
you
is the
scribble
Breeders'
it?
Cup. It is the Breeders' Cup.
Is that a T or an F on that true false?
I think he saw yours, McVay.
Jim,
NASCAR.
No, I circled them.
Ricky Bobby.
you know
Yeah, I know. That's all I got. Ricky Bobby.
Jimmy Johnson. That's all.
Jimmy Johnson.
I am so paralyzed. Don't you stab yourself that knife.
Oh goodness.
Got a second out there.
Oh, I've got to keep going here because we've done a few NASCARs.
I know.
Oh, I can't believe this one driver has not been picked yet as an answer, so I'm hoping.
I don't think we've asked this question. What was the first NASCAR race to be nationally televised from start to finish? What was the first NASCAR race to be nationally televised from start to finish? Is it the Daytona 500, the Indianapolis 500, the Pocono 500, or the Las Vegas 350? What was the first NASCAR race to be nationally televised from start to finish?
So there's no commercials, or
I'm thinking in its entirety.
okay,
The actual race in its entirety. Okay. Daytona, Indy, Pocono, or Las Vegas? Answers.
I don't know.
The answer is the Daytona 500, which was A. None of you guys got it right.
Well, I didn't think it was going to
B.
be again or whatever.
I always thought it was going to be Daytona or Indy.
I
So,
should have picked Daytona. Damn.
how many points we got? Everybody's got one?
No, he's got two.
He's got two, and you got two.
Uh-oh.
All right, so here we go. Last question.
You missed two.
Go ahead there, Jim.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Basketball.
All
Put
right.
it in the wheelhouse.
That's the one I missed right
We'll
here.
put it in the wheelhouse.
Basketball
So wait a
trivia.
minute. Who's tied up? You and
Yeah.
come on, Blair.
You got the answer. Just side them up.
Ooh, here's a good one.
That's it.
Which team won the very first ever NBA game?
NBA
Which-
game?
Which team won the very first NBA game?
Let's hear them.
Answers: the Philadelphia Warriors, the Toronto Huskies, the Chicago Stags, or the New York Knicks. Which team won the very first NBA
Get out
game?
here.
Philadelphia Warriors, Toronto Huskies, Chicago Stags, or the New York Knicks? Answers. Oh, he's changing.
What?
All right. That didn't help you there, Blair.
I know. I,
The answer is the New York Knicks.
Yes, there's a chance.
There's a chance.
So we have a
I'm
tie,
out.
correct?
Yes.
Between Blair. Oh, it's a three-way tie.
Three-way up here.
Wow. Okay.
Of course, I'm the only one out.
All right. One more. Go ahead there.
That
Go ahead
first
there.
week was my only chance.
Go ahead there, Jim.
I think the Knicks actually beat the Huskies.
Baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Baseball trivia. Here we go.
Hide it.
Did you just say a prayer?
No.
Dear Lord,
But I
baby
think-
Jesus.
think it kept
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Come on, do something like the
wow.
history of baseball.
Oh.
Wow.
Go deep in this one.
Jason Jarvis trivia, not so much. I had to post that up there.
Don't like it.
Ooh. Okay.
What's your least favorite segment we do?
Oh, here's a good one. What female pitcher once struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig? I didn't even know there was a female pitcher in baseball. How about that?
Jarvis, the Big
What
12.
Yeah, I
female
read it.
pitcher
Like it.
once struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig? Here's the answers. Constance Morgan, Jackie Mitchell,
Oh my gosh.
Kelsey Whitmore, or Mamie Johnson. This is going to be an absolute Hail Mary for all of
Yes.
you guys, I would think.
What was it now?
Constance Morgan, Jackie
these
Mitchell, Kelsey Whitmore, or Mamie Johnson.
What'd you put?
Oh.
All right. And I'll tell you that the person was 17 years old that did it. Okay? All right. So
Impressive.
I'll tell you that.
Threw the ball probably slow.
The
probably.
answer, go ahead. All right. The answer is Jackie Mitchell,
I don't even know.
which
if that
is
was-
which is A or B, I mean.
Oh.
So Riley wins again.
Here, you can hand it to him.
Hey, the Black Cats have it again.
That's
friend.
at
The
least a black
Cats
cat
have
has it.
again.
I mean, you know, the Blue
There it is.
Jays and the
There it is.
Lancers.
All right.
And the Raiders.
Real quick, Ray, breaking news,
Yep.
and I just showed these guys.
Okay.
ESPN reporting Big 12 should be coming out tomorrow. Sources say the league is expected to maintain 9-game round robin, 1 non-con game.
How about that?
like it.
Hey,
How
they're playing.
about that?
They're playing.
So the answer, Jackie Mitchell, 17-year-old female pitcher for the Double-A Chattanooga Lookouts, once played for the New York Yankees in an exhibition, or once played the New York Yankees in an exhibition game and struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig in succession. So not just struck them out, but struck them out back to back. How about that?
Wow. All those names, I thought they were girls there for a minute, so I was like,
Yeah, you know.
A League of Their Own. No one picked that movie.
That's right. That's a good movie. There's no crying in baseball.
No crying
You know?
in baseball.
All right.
Tom
It is what-
Hanks. You know.
Yeah, well,
You don't like Tom Hanks?
not anymore.
Well, yeah. Man.
Nice.
There was a point where Tom Hanks is not cool.
And it did happen. Well,
Yeah.
Wow.
See, Roxana McVeigh says League of His Own.
I hear he's a Greek citizen now.
He is.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah, got his Greek citizenship.
yeah.
He did.
Got to be ready to
He gone.
take off when you need to.
I'm out.
yeah,
I'm out. All right.
Pizzagate.
Do
All
we
right,
do we tirade or are we calling it tonight?
wait for us to get shut down on Facebook. Now. Oh no, let's get a tirade going.
Tirade?
Yeah, let's
All
do
right.
it. Yeah.
We're gonna tirade. So
Jimmy got something you want to go
you
off
wanna
on real
go
quick?
off on tirade?
You know, and I mentioned it earlier. If everybody does what they need to do over the next 3-4 weeks, our kids are going to be able to do what they want to do, and that's play high school sports. You know, just do what the health departments are doing, and this is to all my friends that are watching back up in St. Louis, and, you know, wear the masks, do what you got to do. These kids deserve the chance to play. If we do our part as the adults, these kids are going to have the opportunities. So, you know, just follow the guidelines, do what they got to do so these guys can coach, so I can referee, so I can have spring sports at Maryville. I
Right,
mean, so,
right.
you know, just do what you got to do.
There it is, man. And he did that in 20 seconds.
I like it.
How about that?
Yeah.
I like it.
We don't know how to use our time effectively.
Well, I'm used to it. Hold on. I'm used to it working with Charlie Marlowe and Martin Kilcoyne on Fox 2 on Friday nights because when I get long-winded, I get kicked.
No.
So,
We should do that more often.
Normally we do it with music, but the music's playing right now. So
Hard to kick Blair when he's all the way down there.
Sure. So maybe we should just send it down the line.
Everybody kicks everybody down.
speaking of Blair, let's go ahead and we'll pause it. We'll redo it
He's
again.
been waiting for 2 hours to do this.
Riley Blair,
What
your
is tirade?
tirade. Go ahead.
All right. So, as everyone knows, and these guys at the table have already given me a little bit of trouble about this tonight.
It's your ball.
But I do
It's
like
your ball, if you can find it.
I do like to talk to officials. And
Hold on, let me scoot over.
and
Get deep in here real quick.
so if most of any officials is out there watching, I apologize in advance, but I'm going to speak my mind.
Oh, my God. Great. So now more officials coming to Herky angry.
No.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
Here's all I ask as a coach.
It's rough
I
coaching
just
after him.
want the officials to be able to talk to coaches. I think that in the flow of the basketball game, we're always going to see it different. And every single time there's a call made, I'm sure coaches are going to see it different. So,
Well, some just comment every time the call's made, but go ahead. Sorry.
Sure. Got
Sorry,
it.
I'm
Got it.
sorry I interrupted you.
Got it. But I think that if more coaches and officials were able to talk and communicate on what they saw or why they saw it, or being willing to give you their reasoning behind why they made that call, I think the relationships would be better as a whole. And some officials, that's just not in their cup, So I think that that's okay because you know who those officials are and you know how to handle that situation. But from a standpoint of a coach, if the call is made and I want to know what they saw, I think that they have to be able to provide me that, and I'm going to be willing to listen. And the same point is, if that's the case, if they want to tell me something, hey, enough's enough or whatever, then I need to be listening to that. And
Time's up.
Oh, great, huh? Time's up already?
Sorry.
30 seconds. What?
Man.
2 minutes. That's all you get to say.
Oh, man.
You didn't tell us that at the beginning.
You put the clock on.
Yeah.
Here's your stop sign.
Thanks,
Man.
Zach McVeigh.
Oh, man.
Mr. Official.
Man.
All right, very, very quickly.
This is
I
the
am
best part of the
aggravated-
show, by the
yes,
way.
I am aggravated at the St. Louis Cardinals to the point that since 2011, they will never, ever get my money ever again. Ever. Because they did not re-sign Albert Pujols. Okay.
See, last week you went off on us about steroids, remember?
right,
We want
right.
steroids back in baseball.
I just said I don't care because
Yeah.
because it's entertainment.
Okay.
But the St. Louis Cardinals will never get any of my money. Now I'll go for free, if somebody's going to have tickets or things like that. I've been to Cardinal games, but I'm never going to pay for another Cardinals game because I should have been able to take my son to see the greatest player in our generation. He's going to be and should be on the Mount Rushmore of baseball, but because the St. Louis Cardinals worry about their 25% profit margin in an entertainment business, they don't want to pay him his money. He won you 2 World Series, X amount of MVPs, all these other accolades, and you can't pay him his money.
The greatest right-hand hitter of this generation.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so for me, it was writing on the wall when they gave Holiday the extension, but they're not going to get my money anymore.
Wow.
Pretty.
I know.
That's a tirade.
I have a friend that feels the same way. Jimmy Walker. I don't know if he's watching tonight, but
Didn't he
he's
used to
complained
say
about that
Dynamite?
all the time, huh?
Isn't that the guy, Dynamite
Not
guy?
that Jimmy
Yeah,
Walker.
that guy. I mean, my dad said as soon as Gussie Busch sold his team, he goes, I'm never going back watching again. That's
right.
And now he's a Yankees fan. So that's
Now,
fun.
I'll go if it's, like I said, somebody's got free tickets or things like that, but I'm not actively going to pay $200 plus for, family of 3 between parking and food and concessions and tickets and this and that and the other when I don't have the opportunity to see the greatest player of our generation.
Ray says move on.
Time's up.
Go.
Time's up.
Go.
We got to move over to Mr. Miller.
No more conversation.
I got to be last, man.
Yeah, there you go. You get to be last this time.
last.
For your joy,
All right. So, am I on the clock?
You are on the clock.
Okay.
Watch it.
So, as most of you guys know, I've coached a long time in public schools, and only recently have I moved over to the private sector.
Oh boy!
And as I love to sit here and take all the fun jokes, and I do, and it's all good fun, and I know you guys are having fun for the most part,
And you give them back too.
and I do, and I have no problem with doing that and giving those jabs. But what I really, really hate is the fact that we really need to establish what undue influence is in this state and hit everybody who does it. If we're going to sit there and say, and we've had people comment that we know that say that St. Pius recruits or other schools that are private recruit, let's be real here. There's not just private schools that recruit. There's not. It's not just limited here. There's plenty of other schools that do, and then they do it very openly on social media with their posts, with their coaches.
Mentioning no names.
I'm not going to say any names. If you're good enough to find that information, you just go ahead and do it. It's out there, and you know what's going to happen? Nothing. Not a freaking thing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen to them. But you know what you do? You do one little thing, and you're not the big cash cow. Bam! You're going to get suspended. You're going to lose this. You're not going to get a chance to play. You're 365, son. It doesn't matter.
That's funny.
But we're not going to do it to certain schools that are just obvious about it. You know what they'll do? They'll send cars down to pick kids up and take them to another district. They're a public school.
Nobody ever does that.
And you know what happens? Not
That's
a
great.
daggum thing. Not a damn thing happens to them.
Only private schools do this.
Yeah, only private schools do it. Yeah, what'd you guys give them, a car? No, we didn't give them a car.
It's a fully loaded Lexus.
We got to turn on the lights.
Blue chips.
Are you kidding me?
Time.
Your time
No.
is up, sir.
Hey, shh, quiet.
Your time is up.
Jarvis, you.
Hold on. Let me
Follow that.
I know. I mean, that's why I didn't understand why he was doing me last anyway. He knows I hate this segment, so I'm like,
It'd be really funny if you start talking about private
Give me
schools
just a
recruiting.
second.
You know what I can't stand?
I can't stand these private schools that say they don't recruit.
And your time starts now.
My tirade is the NFL and Stan Kroenke.
Oh, no!
They both can kiss off.
Can you say that on the air?
You know? I mean, because
The views of...
Hell, no one's listening anyway.
we will never, ever have NFL football in St. Louis again. We will never have it in St. Louis again. And they knew it. All them people in
gosh.
LA knew it. Everyone knew it. I celebrated
very
that Super
sorry,
Bowl when the
folks.
Rams
We are
won in
very sorry.
1999. That was awesome. This place was pumping.
True.
And you're going to tell me, then we get an XFL team and we fill that stadium, and people still want to say that St. Louis cannot support the NFL. Well, commish, take it.
Is that it? You got some more time.
Nope, done.
Wow. That's it.
Wow.
Man.
Holy moly.
I mean,
I hate Stan Kroenke. Every time I hear his name, I just want to punch
he's such a nice guy.
Such a nice guy.
I mean,
I agree.
I would love to, I love Carricker because of that one thing. He hates Stan Kroenke. And
Well, all those guys who were involved in that and basically came on their show and said, "Oh, we have no plans of doing that." They are lying through their teeth. 'Cause,
Oh, they
like,
lied.
the next week. Now they're leaving.
Snead was the worst.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Fisher. What a sorry coach.
I wish he'd have got the record for most losses.
7-9.
7
No,
and
he
9.
tied it.
7-9.
He tied it. He
We
tied
will
it.
not go. What did he say?
We will not go 7 and 9.
Yeah, we will not blank and go.
I thought he'd say
So-
we'll go 8-8. He went 7-9.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Either way, he sucks.
We want to end our segment with a great quote by yours truly, Riley Blair. Believe in something, even if you disagree with what the official, his two officiating partners, the PA announcer, your whole coaching staff, the entire crowd, the radio broadcaster, and even your wife saw on the call you're arguing about in the third quarter. ... That was made in the first quarter. ... In a different game played 3 weeks ago. ... By the same official.
But
just call it
I have an
the
official,
way I saw it.
I have an official to my left that will disagree with that statement.
That's because he likes you. yeah, there it is. It's on the screen.
Just call
it. I was going to say this.
Just call it.
I will come down to Jeffco any day of the week and twice on Sunday to referee Eddie, you guys, and we will have a blast.
That'll be great.
There you go.
Hey, I come to girls' basketball games. I mean, I love our students, love watching them play, but I have so many videos on my phone of him. And I know they all make fun of me because I always have the grease board under my arm, but this dude and his stomping and his backup timeout.
It's pretty good stuff.
And he sticks that butt out, man. Oh, he does, man. You ever see him call that timeout? He struts out there.
Wow.
I'll have to pull that one out of the bag. And
now he's got the chair. Chair.
You've got little chairs that's
oh my gosh.
Well, one of his 20 assistants is assigned to that chair to put it down for him.
You are not kidding.
Jim, do you see what I put up with?
I saw it.
Do you
I saw it.
Do you see it?
Online, but now that seeing it live and in person, good luck.
You see that?
Hey, give us about 15 minutes after this is off and see what happens.
So we have the not for children version that comes on after this.
The post game show.
So Ray, since you left that quote at the very end of my quote, the picture, I should get an extra minute next week.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Man,
I know he didn't even get to finish. He was like,
your grit.
Get to finish.
I was mad.
Jim, thanks so much for being on here. We appreciate you, man, big time. And,
thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
My
Your mom says you were in drama. Your mom just threw you under the bus.
Coach Noodles.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey.
We have to end with that.
Mom
right
with the
there,
mic drop. Boom.
Oh, goodness.
Dang.
Thanks so much for watching the Coach's Box tonight.
Mama
Don't forget,
Blair.
Friday afternoon, 1 o'clock, we'll be here, Jeff Whitener and myself.
Who watches that show?
Who watches that show right there?
I'm not
Hey, listen, this is
Jeff Whitener has a show?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We've got a good lineup, actually. We've got.
Are we on the show?
No,
I know. I was
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Wait, is Jim on the show?
Jim's not on the show.
I don't know how I feel about it.
So we're gonna have Coach
Wait a minute.
Chris Johnson. Uh-oh.
Oh,
goodness.
we better all get
There
it
it
on
is.
there.
Yeah, because this is a professional show.
Coach Chris Johnson. We're gonna have Coach Cody Hunter.
That's what he said today.
Cody
I
Hunter.
heard he's
Cody
coming
Hunter.
down.
He's doing it, huh?
I might have to come down there.
And
What time?
Who's left? Oh, Dan Oliver
wait,
Dan Oliver from St. Pius as well. So there you go.
He's not working that day, I guess. I'm
Yeah.
working.
So there you go.
Maybe I can see if I can get a late lunch.
So catch that out. That is
Private school, you could do that, right?
I mean, I'll just say it's professional development. I need to learn how to be more professional, apparently.
My goodness.
Ray's like, can you guys just shut up?
Can I get in
You're
what I
talking
need to say here? Catch us at 1 o'clock for the Main Street Sports Show.
Well, wait,
Jeff Whitener and myself.
are we promoting that show?
We are. I'm trying to promote the show.
Yeah.
You know, I produce it and, kind of talk.
I mean, I
sometimes
know
about
that there's videos out there of me promoting the
Oh,
show.
my gosh.
It's definitely not me.
Second best live stream STL.
Yeah, I think that's the second best.
Yeah.
I mean, our viewership numbers are
through the roof, right?
There's some people have viewership numbers that are here. Some people
There's
are
a big pile,
Gosh, is Jeff on here?
I'm waiting for it. The mics are muted.
The next commercial is going to be epic.
I got to mute the mics here. I really do. So they're all mad at me now. So thanks for watching the Coach's Box. We will see you next week. Have a good one.